I don't think there is any light way to discuss these things. There is a mix of emotions. There is gratitude, a deep gratitude that we decided to honor him in this way, and we didn't know, but we made the most of the time that we did have. He met us on the other side.
I have to agree with gratitude because looking back at the pictures, I remember myself exactly how I felt. And after losing him, and you're thinking through just replaying how everything happened in your mind, sometimes you doubt how you remember yourself and, wonder if you did enough but when I look at these photos and I see just where we are, I'm like, why wouldn't I want to be like this? And I'm glad that I was where I was in the moment, and I'm glad that I can look back to remind myself like that we were where we needed to be for him.
I've said it multiple times that grief, the magnitude of my grief screams to the magnitude of how much I did love and do love myself. I feel like you can't really have grief without love. It's because you loved so hard and because you loved so in-depthly that you grieve. They coincide. So I guess the images themselves just kind of solidify a time in my life. There will forever be this is a marking chapter of before Jaro, after Jaro. It brings out the rawness because of our newborn photos had to be bereavement photos. It's one of the rawest times in my life. And at first it feels kind of weird sometimes when you look back at it because you're like, whoa, but you need that.
It just documents the process, honestly. I see where we were the moment he came into this world. I can remember play by play by looking at these pictures. The memories come into full, play in my mind. I guess it just helps me process his transition. We had such a short time to conceptualize the being of our son, and the same in just hours time of our waking moments with him, what his body meant to me transformed. That's hard to wrestle with. As I stared at him, I just I didn't want to believe it. We were watching him, I'm like, I just caught him, and so looking at myself in the past really helps me to have empathy for what I was going through, and I can have a better understanding now, outside of the situation, and the pictures allow me to go back there.
It was everything. I needed it. Like you said in the previous question, sometimes you doubt yourself. I remember doubting if I heard him cry the way that I swore I did. And at one point, I only had a limited amount of images and videos of him. And it wasn't until I saw yours. And I finally had this overwhelming sense of relief that I wasn't hallucinating. You're thankful and grateful because this is all you have. But there is a moment of just enraging bitterness because this is all I have.
Looking at the photo of me and my mom, just brings to my mind how intentionally present she was. You would never expect to have to show up for your kids, in such a tragic time. And seeing my mom and how she's embracing me in this moment, I'm looking at the camera, I can't see her, but being able to look back at this photo and to see, her love that she's pouring out for me, it just really highlights who all was there and what all that means, and just gives me, more thanks for the people that were in our corner and showed up for us that maybe I didn't even have the wherewithal to like take in, and also to see how they're affected, like to see them, it's like, obviously we're gonna be stuck in the fact that we lost our kid, like that's our child that we lost. Absolutely. I could really care less what anybody else felt at the time, but at the same time, being able to go back and see the hurt that this caused and the empathy that exists and the village. Yeah, it's like, it just opened my eyes to the bigger picture.
It's because we had those photos taken that we were able to create a slideshow that allowed our family and friends who did not get a chance to meet him and are now meeting him in a way of where he is not physically present. It became key. It became a very integral part of our way to honor our son, share with others about him. I think our service would have went way different if we didn't have that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have. I'm thankful that I can look back at the images of when I was first, when I was carrying him, because I just see the readiness. As I look at this smile and I realize like it's so genuine. I see someone who decided not to give up. The fight of my son radiated through me because he didn't give up either. I learned a lot while being pregnant with Jaro. That pregnancy has forever changed me. And not just because of the loss of him, but everything that it took to get to him. For any mom who is wondering if this is something that you want to do during just the sacred time of pregnancy, regardless of if you know whether or not you're going to be facing some difficulties with your pregnancy or with your child, with your baby. I would say that I would encourage it, but I would say go with your gut. I can share the wonderful things that it has done for me. I don't have any cons really, like even in, me saying like the love-hate relationship with the photography, like that's just grief, the stages of grief. You're going to go through different emotions, but at the end of the day, I believe that if you are potentially facing loss, you'll look back on this and at some point of your journey, you will develop gratitude for seeing yourself, seeing the strength that you embodied, that you and your baby embodied, and the love. But if your gut says no, then don't regret it.